First time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. Tyrese is wanted by the cops in the ATL after his dogs allegedly mauled a neighbor's pet to death. Yeah, fam. They're saying that Tyrese's dog is responsible for mauling another neighbor's pet to death. And they're saying that Tyrese is ultimately responsible for the actions of his dog. They want Tyrese in jail. The Atlanta police has already, actually the courts have already issued a warrant for his arrest, but it's, I guess, through the police department. They have a warrant out for Tyrese's arrest. Tyrese's decision not to keep his cane Corso dogs under surveillance allegedly has come back to bite him. Atlanta PD says his dogs are dog killers. So exactly what happened? Fulton County Police Animal Service Captain Nicole Dwyer announced on Monday that Tyrese had a warrant out for his arrest for animal cruelty. She told Atlanta media that they have received a call on September 18th from a neighbor who let his dog out at night, only to find it dead on the ground minutes later from a clear-cut animal attack. Let's stop right there. How do they know it was Tyrese's dog that made the attack? They say that it was a clear-cut animal attack. How do they know for certain it was Tyrese's dogs? I'm just saying, fam. I mean, if it was his dogs, it was his dogs, then he absolutely should be held accountable. But what if it's not his dogs? What proof do they have that it was Tyrese's dogs? Absolutely, DNA should be conducted, right? Take a sample of the other dog's DNA, the dead dog, and then you take a sample of Tyrese's dog, and boom, you'll get your answer. But according to Dwyer, Tyrese was warned multiple times about his cane Corsos prowling the neighborhood. It is the negligence on his part as the homeowner and animal owner just letting them roam free, Dwyer said. And now they have killed an innocent animal. Police obtained a warrant and searched Tyrese's home on September 22nd, but neither he nor the dogs were present. Well, it sounds like to me that they're going to have to find the dog first in order to do some type of DNA sample to make that conclusion. I want to know, how do they know for certain it was Tyrese's dog? Now, I will say this. If his dogs were roaming the neighborhood, he's absolutely wrong. I'm going to tell you something, fam. There are a few things worse than a person who will allow their dogs to roam in a neighborhood, especially dogs who can be aggressive. But from what I understand, cane Corsos are not really aggressive dogs. I'm not a dog owner, not a dog lover. All right? Don't care nothing about dogs. I care about human beings. But for all of you who do, those of you who understand that particular breed of dog. I've been hearing that that particular dog that Tyrese has, the cane Corso, is not an aggressive dog. That's what I've been hearing. They're saying it's not even an aggressive dog. So even if it was roaming the neighborhood, it's not an aggressive dog. But it still should not roam the neighborhood, because when you see a dog, you just see a dog. And even some of these little dogs, these little bitty pocket dogs, are aggressive, and they'll come for you. So all these dogs should be on a leash unless they're in your yard. They're on your property in a controlled area. They should not be able to roam the streets, roam the neighborhood. They shouldn't even be able to go into your neighbor's yard. Because, hey, you know, also dogs are like humans to an extent. You can find the most docile dog ever, the most non-violent, non-aggressive dog ever. If something happens to that dog, maybe the dog gets sick, somehow the dog becomes violent, and next thing you know, somebody could be dead. That's happened, you know. I've heard of situations where some of these dogs, these bigger dogs, have killed family members. They've killed babies. These dogs that people have been around all their lives, you know, the dog probably grew up with the kid and then attacked the kid, or the dog, an elderly person, or it doesn't have to be an elderly person, just somebody could go buy a dog and they have the dog from the time the dog was born. Got the dog at 3 days old, 1 day old. Dog gets strong enough and big enough and everything's cool, then one day it ain't cool. The dog just attack you out of nowhere, maul you. So I am a staunch believer that these dogs need to be put on a leash. These dogs need to be controlled. You should not allow your dog to roam. Some of y'all got some very aggressive dogs and y'all don't put them on leashes. Sometimes I be thinking people do that stuff on purpose because they find it entertainment. I think they find it entertaining that their dogs scare people. You know what? I'm just gonna let them stay. I'm gonna keep them off the leash. And then you got the people who got the dogs who might be on a leash, and they'll let that damn dog get all the way up on you, like he wanna bite you and, you know, crawling and all that kind of stuff, and knowing what kind of dog they have. Instead of keeping the dog at a safe distance where it can't scare anybody or it can be a threat, they let the dog get all the way up on you. Sometimes they let dogs jump up on people and all of that. I'm gonna tell you something. If you let your dog jump on me, I'm gonna kick your dog in the throat. If your dog jump on me, I'm gonna put hands on your dog. And you can't get mad about it because you asked for it. Right or wrong, fam? Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. You know your dog is aggressive. Why? Why would you let that dog jump on people? Why would you have your dog on a leash and have your dog sniffing all on people's legs, licking on their legs, jumping up on people? You want your dog to get a 2-piece. So if your dog jump on me, I'm gonna give him a 2-piece. Might hit him with an uppercut too. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's only right. I think it's the right thing to do. But right now, fam, Tyrese is in a jam. Tyrese is a wanted man. He is wanted on charges of animal cruelty. Yeah, he wanted. Tammy Washington says, I have raised pit bulls and chows, never seen them be aggressive with me. Now, if the dog thought I was in danger, that's another story. Tammy, good for you. But let me tell you something about a little child that I've known since I was 5. I remember knowing this child. I used to go to my grandmother's house in Lake Charles, Louisiana for the summer vacations. And she had a little child. And that was the most aggressive damn dog I've ever seen in my life. Just little bitty ass dog just running out, barking, like all the time. Just barking and trying to jump on somebody. It's a long time ago. The dog been dead. R.I.P. Chow Chow. But yeah, I had to, I had to get that boy the field goal a couple of times. Yeah. All that damn barking and trying to bite. And he would try to bite you. A child. Some dogs are great. Some dogs are great, right? Some dogs are just great, and they shouldn't even be in the same category with other dogs. Almost like human beings. Some humans are great, just great people. They should not be thrown in the same category as some of these uncivilized mutts. Because the ones who are not so great, good Lord, yeah, make it bad for everybody. Back to Tyrese. Tyrese is going to turn himself in. Tyrese ain't the type of dude gonna be on the run, especially for animal cruelty. I can't see it. I think Tyrese, wherever he is going to pop up at a police department either tonight, first thing in the morning, and he's gonna face that head on. If he suspects his dog actually mauled that other dog, if I was Tyrese, dog just went missing. I ain't seen him. I'm not, and then if they ain't got no evidence also, they don't have any evidence, oh no, I'm not turning myself in, man. I'm not taking no, well, I'm turning myself in because I'm wanted, but I'm not taking that case. But some people are attached to their dogs. The trip part is, if his dog really mauled that other dog, they're gonna put his dog to sleep. So he's gonna lose the dog anyway. So you may as well, if he suspects that his dog actually did it, then he may as well go ahead and, kind of, I ain't seen him. You seen him? Last time I seen him was on Thanksgiving Day. I ain't seen him. Think about what I'm saying, fam. If they gonna smash him, if they're going to charge him, if the dog is guilty, if that dog is guilty, they're gonna charge Tyrese, and they're gonna put the dog down. Anyway, so if they're gonna put the dog down, rather than letting them put the dog down, how about giving the dog to somebody else? Now, I don't want to say too much because they might try to hit me for some type of accessory after the fact or something. They got all kind of laws. They hit you with a law, man. They hit you with something. So, Tyrese, you know what to do. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. What's up, Sean Lunatic? What it do? What it do? What it do? Kawi. Rochella. Veronica Brown. African Pride. Devon. When I do that, I know it's one of them out there. I know they out there like, they can't stand. Boy, they don't like that right there. Why is that? They don't like that. Why? Why they don't like that? Chadwick Rogers, what up? Pat Williams, what it do? Young Styles, say Willie losing weight. Am I? I guess I am. I'm on a diet. I'm trying to get leaner. I'm trying to get a little leaner, you know? You do know like fat carries disease. So I'm trying to get leaner, fam. I want no fat on me. Get that up out of here. I used to have no empathy for dog lovers at all. At all. But then you know how it go, fam. My daughter got a dog, and so you start getting closer to the dogs, and you realize, damn, she really loved this damn dog. Like, damn, like how? I raised her. How did she love a dog that much? I didn't raise, but I did give her dogs when she was young. So I guess she fell in love. I guess she fell in love with the dog. But man, them dogs really do become like family. You know, they do become like part of the family. It was hard for me to understand that until my daughter got a dog. And I was like, whoa. And then her dog died. Ooh-wee, man. I almost cried, but I didn't cry. Only reason I didn't cry because that wasn't gangster. I couldn't do it, man. I know I got close, but I couldn't do it. Crying for a dog ain't gangster. I ain't got over that hump yet. I know some of y'all saying, what do you mean it's not gangster? I just ain't got over the hump yet, fam. I'm getting there. God's still working on me. But at least I do care about dogs, you know, now. You know, but I used to didn't care at all about no dog, any type of dog. But I will say this, I don't like German Shepherds. I do not like German Shepherds. And that is because the police use German Shepherds to sick them on black people. Now I know the dog ain't really responsible because they teach those dogs to attack. They teach those dogs to do that. I got it, I understand that. But still, fam, you know, I see them doing it. And it's just, every time I see a German Shepherd, it brings back all of these memories of them, of the police using these dogs to attack black people. So, yeah, so I just can't, I don't like German Shepherds. But they say this cane, this dog, this, what do they call it? A cane, hold on. It's called a cane Corso. Cane Corso dogs are not supposed to be aggressive. So there are some people saying, yeah, right, they don't really believe that Tyrese's dog attacked another dog and killed it because they're saying that that dog is not an aggressive dog. They said, I read one comment was some guy said, I've never heard in my life of a cane Corso being aggressive. There goes somebody say, oh, Judge Dredd said cane Corso is the devil. But damn, hold on. Let me look this up. Let me see what, let's see what they're saying here. Or let me just ask the question straight up. Let's see. Cane Corso dog, this is according to AI, Google. Cane Corsos are not inherently aggressive, but possess strong protective instincts, meaning their behavior depends on proper training, socialization, and consistent leadership. While a well-bred and properly raised cane Corso can be loyal, calm, and loving, they are a powerful guard dog breed that requires significant commitment to training to prevent fear-based or territorial aggression and ensure they know how to appropriately react to perceived threats. So, inherently, these dogs are not aggressive. But as they said, it depends on the training, socialization, and consistent leadership. So if you got, damn, that's kind of like humans, huh? Do you know that human beings aren't inherently aggressive? But it depends on proper training, socialization, and consistent leadership. Interesting. Interesting. If you're just not joining us, fam, Atlanta police has issued a warrant over a deadly cane Corso attack. This deadly cane Corso, according to the police, belongs to Tyrese. So they've issued a warrant for Tyrese's arrest to hold Tyrese accountable for the actions of his 4 cane Corso dogs. Well, they don't know if it was, well, according to them, a neighbor's dog was attacked and killed. That dog was attacked and killed, and they said the dog had obvious signs of an animal attack. Now we're getting into different territory because they said an animal attack. Well, it could have been attacked by a raccoon, you know, a cobra, a cougar. So it looks like the neighbor must have told the police that Tyrese allows his dogs to roam. And the police said that Tyrese has been warned many times now. We don't know if the police is going by the neighbor's account of Tyrese being warned, or if the police have actual calls that they've responded to, and they had to come out and warn Tyrese about his dogs roaming the neighborhood. Fulton County Police Animal Services Captain Nicole Dwyer announced on Monday that Tyrese had a warrant out for his arrest for animal cruelty. She told Atlanta media that they had received a call on September 18th from a neighbor who let his dog out at night, only to find it dead on the ground minutes later from a clear-cut animal attack. So it looks like to me that the neighbor did the exact same thing that he's accusing Tyrese of doing. he let his dog out to roam without a leash. You know, maybe he was letting the dog out to relieve himself, but he was going on a walk, so maybe the dog got ahead of him. In any event, the dog should have been on a leash. Had he had his dog on a leash, perhaps his dog wouldn't have been attacked. Yeah. At the very least, he would have known exactly who attacked his dog. So now we're getting into some different territory here. Should the neighbor have also been charged for having his dog out without a leash, roaming? Does the neighbor have some culpability here? What if the neighbor's dog ran up on the other dog? Because, you know, sometimes little bitty dogs be barking loud and they'll try one of them big dogs and they get their head knocked off. So what if the neighbor's dog attacked the big dog first? Well, you know, let me back up. I don't know if the neighbor's dog was smaller or not. But what if the neighbor's dog attacked Tyrese's dog first? That's self-defense. That's self-defense. So they need to go to animal court on this. And Tyrese's dog need to get up on the stand, take the stand. Self-defense, man, because he's fighting for his life at this moment. Literally fighting for his life. He's fighting for his life. He need to take the stand. Tyrese's dog need to take the stand. What happened? I guess this ain't really funny, especially not for Tyrese, because I know he loved those dogs. But I don't see how they just like going all the way with this when they didn't say, they made no mention of there being evidence that it was Tyrese's dog. They just said that the dog had clear animal, it was a clear-cut animal attack. They made no mention that they had any evidence. There was no video evidence that it was Tyrese's dog. They definitely don't have DNA evidence that it was Tyrese's dog unless they already had Tyrese's dog's DNA to test against the neighbor's dog. Judge Dredd said they're going to put that dog to sleep. They are going to put that dog to sleep if they can prove that that dog is the one that killed the neighbor's dog. They're going to put the dog to sleep. So that's why I say, if I'm Tyrese, I give the dog a new residence. You know? If I'm Tyrese, the dog ran away. That shy girl, what's up? Gotta have a sense of humor. Gotta have a sense of humor. Karen Robinson, what's up, Karen? Antonio D. Celestine Epps. All right, I'm the lawyer for Tyrese. We in court. It's a civil matter because you know they're gonna sue. You know they're gonna sue. Hold on, this is before the civil matter. We got a criminal matter right here because they got an arrest warrant on Tyrese. They got an arrest warrant for Tyrese. So I'm going in, it's the day of the arraignment, and I'm finna go in and represent Tyrese. I'm finna handle this like this. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are we on trial yet? Now, we ain't taking this to trial, man, because I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gonna shut this down at the arraignment. I'm shutting this down. I'm gonna shut it down. Now, we need to go to the hearing. Let's have an arraignment, then we're gonna have the hearing. Because at the arraignment, we just gonna plead. We're gonna try to get in, get out. We have the arraignment. How you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Boom. Reset. Now we got a hearing. I'm going in. Judge, this is a mother. Tyrese gonna be like, man, what I'm telling you, I wanted to say it so bad, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, counsel. You know, Tyrese get really professional at times. Thank you, counsel. Judge, we shouldn't even be here. This is a waste of time. They have no DNA evidence. They have no video. They have no eyewitnesses. This dude just comes out of the house and he finds his dog lying dead in the streets, and he blames it on my client just because my client is a celebrity. Because my client is Tyrese Gibson. He's a hater, Judge. This guy is hating on my client because he's a celebrity. Out of all the people in this neighborhood who has dogs, he blames it on my client. He blames it on Mr. Gibson because he's jealous of Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson is an upstanding citizen. He is an asset to this community. He's an asset to his community. This guy, on the other hand, let me show you something, Judge. Exhibit A. Who is this? This guy is smoking a crack pipe. I got him right here. That's this guy right here. We're going to believe this crackhead, or are we going to believe baby boy? I can't believe we're sitting here, we're standing here, going up, dealing with these trumped up charges. He wants to talk about how my client has dogs roaming the neighborhood. How did his dog get attacked without him knowing? If his dog was not roaming the neighborhood, being somewhere he had no business being. Sounds like to me, he brought it on himself, Judge. Again, there's absolutely no proof that my client's dogs put paws on this dog. Yeah, go on deal with that, Tyrese. Come on back to the crib, man. Get on back to the crib, man. Let's just kick this on. What I don't like is that they can just easily put something on a person without any evidence, and you got to go get a lawyer. You got to spend money on a lawyer. You got to have your name dragged through the mud and all this type of stuff. And there really isn't a presumption of innocence, you know? A lot of people automatically see that you got accused of something and they start spreading the information as if it's the truth. All Tyrese got to do is show video evidence of the night in question with his dogs being either inside of his house or inside of their kettles or inside of the gate, being able to show that his dogs was not roaming the streets. He had 4 dogs. Yeah. Deny, deny, deny. I know some of y'all don't like Tyrese, but man, I be rooting for Tyrese. I think Tyrese is a good dude. I think he got a good heart. He mean well, don't come out right all the time. I got it. I got it. But we all built different, right? We built differently, man, and people express themselves in different ways, right? And so the way that he expressed himself sometimes, it may not be the way that you or I would prefer, but you know, that's what makes Tyrese Tyrese. There you go, West Coast 824. It could be a coyote. You know, it could have been. They said it was an animal attack. They said it was an animal attack. So that means that they're not necessarily sure it was even a dog. Because if they were sure, they would have said dog. It was a dog attack, not an animal attack. So according to West Coast 824, he says coyotes always attacking pets over here. I used to do maintenance at a senior citizen mobile park in Woodland Hills, LA County. The mobile ladies used to be screaming when coyotes came down and got their dogs. There you go. Could have been a coyote. Now here's the thing. If it turns out that it wasn't Tyrese's dogs, then what? Then what? Is the neighbor going to issue a formal apology? Is the sheriff department going to issue a public apology? Are they going to stroke a check? Because for the embarrassment, the disparagement, and the inconvenience, oh, homie got to get paid. Pretty Nikki says, Cane Corso dogs are not aggressive dogs. Not inherently. According to Google, they are not inherently aggressive dogs. However, depending on proper training, socialization, and consistent leadership, things could be different. See that? It's different right there. You got some people say yes they are, some people say no they aren't. I'm not even familiar with a cane Corso, so I wouldn't know at all. But I've heard people say they are, then I've heard people say they aren't. I know they look like they'll tear something up. They look like they'll bite your whole leg off. Ooh, that's a mean dog. Ooh, that's a mean dog. That's a mean looking dog. Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, I remember this guy on the north side in Houston who had 3 cane Corsos. And those dogs could do tricks. Yeah, he used to make the dogs do tricks. Very intelligent dogs. Let's see. See, I'm not going to find out if he bite or not. What's the location? Well, they're in Atlanta somewhere. That neighborhood is in Atlanta somewhere. Tyrese got up out of there with all 4 of his dogs. Not implying that he's guilty of anything. I'm just saying. They went looking for the dogs. They couldn't find one. But it's a good thing that he took his dogs, because if they would have left one dog, yeah, they probably would have went in there and not did any type of DNA or anything and just put the dog to sleep. I see. We got some. You got him in some nice living quarters. Damn, is that a heat? He got a heat. Damn, they got heat outside. Shit, man, them dogs. Oh, he got it. He got those dogs set up and he got them set up nice. They walking around on turf. So police did obtain a warrant and they searched Tyrese's home on September 22nd. What is that, last week? But neither Tyrese nor the dogs were present. So, family, I'm concluding that this is all speculation. Saying that Tyrese's cane Corsos attacked that dog is all speculation, as the attack was not witnessed and they have yet to find the dogs in question. Better be lucky I'm not the judge too. As soon as they come in. If I see Tyrese coming into the courthouse, as soon as he come in, man, dismiss, man. Get him on out of there. Judge, you can't do that. Just dismissed. Tyrese, meet me at Papado's, man. We gonna meet me at Papado's, man. We gonna chop it up, man. Let's chop it up about this Furious 510. Is it called Furious 5? What's the name of it? No, I'm thinking about the rap group. Hold on, let me see. What's the name of that series Tyrese is in? Let me see, Tyrese, Furious. So, Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious. Yeah. Fast and Furious. Man, let's talk about Fast and Furious 10, man. What they gonna have you doing in Fast and Furious 10? Yeah, I ain't locking Tyrese up. Man, I'm letting get. How did your dog end up getting killed? How your dog get murked if your dog was not roaming the streets? If he was just not roaming the neighborhood, how did your dog get murked? If he had his dog on a leash, the dog would have never gotten murked. Right or wrong, fam? The only way his dog could have been attacked is that if his dog, the only way his dog could have been killed, not attacked, but killed, if his dog was roaming the neighborhood. So what if his dog went and started the fight? Let's say his dog was a smaller dog and his dog got chopped up. That's his fault. First and foremost, for not having his dog on a leash. Secondly, if his dog was the aggressor, that means he started the fight. Don't start none, won't be none. You can't start a fight, get whooped and play the victim. Now that's assuming that his dog started the fight. But let's say his dog didn't start the fight. His dog was still not on a leash and he went out there roaming around and he got his head knocked off. Whose fault is that? Drop a comment, fam. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.